today we're having literally another house call from one of my favorite doctors. I've struggled with sleep issues my whole life since I was a child. My mom would let me come out of bed at night. They called me the night owl, little hoot, if I was doing something constructive, but I also had to pay the piper the next morning and still get up and go to school on time. I have to say my sleep habits have gotten even worse over the last year, as I'm sure many have. Dr. Michael Bruce is with us today. Dr. Bruce, thank you for joining us. You know what a huge fan I am of yours. I try and follow your advice. I think it's become more of a challenge for all Americans, for people all over the world, quite frankly, because it's been such a stressful time in 2020. How have our sleep patterns been affected by this very unusual year?
So we've definitely seen a change in overall sleep patterns. A couple of statistics I can throw at you, which are interesting. Prescription sleeping medication is up by 30% during COVID. 30%, right?
Wow.
I mean, alcohol sales are up by, I think, close to 30%. Caffeine consumption is up, right? So what's happening is people are falling out of their schedules, right? People are sleeping later, staying up later. That's throwing everything off. If people could have one thing from me, just one piece of advice, wake up at the same time every single morning. It sets your circadian clock. It sets up your day, allows you to kind of know what's happening, and then your body knows what to do.
It'll give you more of a sense of normalcy. Yeah, because people are spending much more time at home than they're used to. They're napping when they're not normally napping. Of course, the stress levels that everybody has been living through are heightened. So that's such a simple fix. Try and get up every day, 7 days a week, right? Even weekends.
7 days a week. What I tell people all the time is consistency helps lower stress, and lower stress leads to more productivity. So if we're working from home and we can get up at the same time, we know what our day is going to look like every single day. So there's no stress. So we lower that stress, we can become more productive.
And sleep is where we work through our stress, correct? So
Absolutely.
would you like to set up your tape? I have not seen your tape yet. I'm going to watch it with you right now for the first time.
Awesome.
Would you like to set it up, or we can just roll?
Let's roll through it and I'll walk you through it.
Great.
Hey everybody, Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor here, and welcome to my bedroom. Yep, Rachel said we wanted to take a look in your bedroom, Dr. Bruce, and see what's in there and how we can all get a great night's sleep. So one of the things that I like to do is I look at a bedroom and I look at it based on the 5 senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Light can have a dramatic effect on your sleep. If this light is too bright at night, it can absolutely positively affect your ability to fall asleep and produce something called melatonin. Remember, melatonin is that key that starts the engine for sleep. So we want to have good light. Now, generally speaking, you want your bulbs to be around 40 watts, or you can install a dimmer switch. Also, they now make these specialty light bulbs that have a filter on the inside that filters out the blue light. My favorite tricks is blue light blocking glasses. So they look a little funky, but the truth of the matter is they block out the blue light. Check them out. Be careful. You want to get the amber lenses and make sure that they've been approved by a sleep specialist. A lot of times people think, when they think sound, they think earplugs, right? So maybe you've got a noisy bed partner, a sleeping bulldog, something along those lines. So when you're looking at earplugs, I'm always telling people you want to get the foamy kind, and if you can, get them noise level rated at 32 or below. This way you can still hear the smoke alarm, but hopefully drown out the noise of maybe a snoring bed partner. One of the newest things that I recently found, it's an app called Restflix. It's pretty amazing. They've got channels of different kinds of sounds and these beautiful visual seascapes. So what I've been doing lately is I've got my blue light blocking glasses on and I watch these, and they're very soothing. As far as touch is concerned, we get a good pillow, we get some good cotton sheets, and we get a good thermoregulation. Cotton has a tendency to be incredibly breathable, absorb perspiration, things of that nature. So when you're looking for thermoregulation, look at your sheets because they could have a lot to do with it. Finally, let's talk about smell. Now, that might not be the easiest topic to talk about in a bedroom, but my favorite thing are these little aromatherapy sachets. Toss them inside a pillow, and we get our own little aromatherapy. Big thing to remember about aromatherapy, by the way, candles and sleep, don't mix. Bedtime snack. When we're talking about snacks, remember you shouldn't go to bed hungry, but you certainly shouldn't go to bed full. We're talking about a 250 calorie snack or so. I've got so many people who say, Dr. Bruce, I wake up at 2:37. What should I do? Guava leaf tea. Not guava fruit, not guava juice, but guava leaf tea. It keeps blood sugar stable throughout the night. There's actually a research study on it. Just keep it simple. No sugar, no caffeine, about 70% carbs, about 30% protein. This is Dr. Michael Bruce wishing you some dreams.
I'm literally making notes because I'm a pen and paper person. I want to order guava leaf tea immediately. Thank you for mentioning do not go to bed with burning candles. So many people do, and I've just lost my home to fire. Not a good fire risk. That is not how my home burned, by the way. And the guava leaf, I'm going to order that today. Fantastic. Give us one for the road, shall we say. You're going to help one of our viewers when we come back. But I think I know what you're going to say because I read my producer's notation on this, and I'm psyched because I am a freak about this.
I'm a big air person.
Me too.
Air quality.
I'm open in winter, baby.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, once a week, you should walk around your house, open all the windows, then leave it for 10, 20 minutes, get some fresh air in, then walk around and close them all. If you're in a place like where I am, I'm in Los Angeles with the fires, that's not exactly the best thing that we can be able to do.
Right now, right.
Right? But air filters, these are great little units. This is a 3-in-1 HEPA air filter. It's nice and small. I keep it in my office, so that way I can do that. But then I bring it into my bedroom in the evenings, and then I know I've got good, high-quality air.
So we're going to do another segment together. You're going to be helping one of our viewers. You're going to be doing a house call for Cheyenne.
Yes.
So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back more with Dr. Bruce. We are back with the sleep doctor, Michael Bruce. He's already helped me out a ton. I've made notes all over my sheets for today of things I have to order when we get off air today. But now we're going to help out one of our viewers. Her name is Cheyenne, and she is a lot like me. She seems to be a night owl too. Cheyenne, can you explain to the sleep doctor what goes on with you? First of all, where are you? What do you do? And how are we alike?
Okay, so I am a photographer and graphic designer based out of Brooklyn. And like most creatives, my most productive hours are between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. And because of COVID, I no longer have any reason to be up at normal hours. So I would really like to make the switch from night owl to regular functioning human being. And I was wondering if there was a way to do so without necessarily getting a prescription drug of any sort.
So first of all, you are like Little Hoot and myself in that you are a night owl for sure. And that's very common with my creatives, my artists, my actors, my authors. Most of my celebrities clients are actually night owls, which can tend to be a little bit difficult. Interestingly, I've worked with NASA astronauts before because they have to change their shift quite a bit, because that's really kind of what you're talking about, is changing the shift that you're in now to a different kind of shift, almost like you've got jet lag. And so there's actually a lot of different things that can be done for jet lag. Rachel and I were talking earlier about melatonin for her animals who are waking up who are up in the middle of the night. But what's nice is you can actually use it for yourself. So one of the things I recommend for people is if you were to decide to use melatonin, you would figure out what you want your new bedtime to be. So let's say, just to make the math simple, it was midnight, because I know you're still a bit of a night owl, so midnight might be a good one to start out. You would try melatonin in pill form approximately an hour and a half before bed, so at 10:30. However, if you had it in a dropper form, you could do it just 30 minutes before bed. You'd need to do it for probably 6 to 7 days in a row before you would start to feel like you're going to get sleepy around that time. The good news is that you can do it for a while. It's not going to have any harmful effects on you. I will ask you to ask your doctor, though, if you can take melatonin to make sure it doesn't interact with anything else that you might be taking. But that would be the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is in the morning, get some sunlight if you can, because sunlight turns off that natural melatonin. So we're going to start up the melatonin with a little bit of the supplement, and then we're going to turn it off with a little bit of light.
Like a switch.
I do actually have a follow-up question. So when I do sleep, my issue is I don't sleep for long periods of time. So as I could go to sleep at 5 a.m. and I promise you how bright this window is, I will be awake by 8 o'clock.
Right. You sleep in little chunks. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not uncommon either. The best thing to do is get you on the new schedule first, and then we would start to add more sleep as time went on. But we have to shift you to that place first and then start to spread you out. That would be the best way to do it.
Who's habitually only sleeping 2 or 3 hours, and then they're awake for a period of time, should they read a book? Should they exercise their brain? Should they sit in the dark and just freak out? Should they watch an old movie? What do you do when you cannot sleep and it is the middle of the night? Just on a practical level.
Mm-hmm. So my favorite thing for people to do when they're thinking through this as an idea is, number one, don't freak out. Here's what's good is when you're lying in bed in the dark, even if you're not sleeping, about an hour's worth of just lying quietly is worth about 20 minutes of sleep from a restorative standpoint. So the good news is you're still doing something good for your body. Number two, don't look at the clock if you possibly can, because everybody does. They instantly do the mental math, and then they say, oh, crap, I've only got 3 hours left. And they go, sleep, sleep, sleep. And, of course, that doesn't work very well.
Of course you can't.
Stop. So here's what I ask people to do is, if you watch the clock, which I know you can't help, is instead of saying, oh, crap, flip that script in your head and say, this is awesome. I have the opportunity. I'm going to lie here. I'm going to get some rejuvenation, and I might get a few more extra minutes of sleep. If I do, that's awesome. If I don't, I know that I'm going to wake up, I'm going to work through my day, I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to sleep probably just fine. So don't worry. That's what you tell yourself. It sounds goofy. I promise you it works. It's all about changing your attitude.
Don't get up and go to work.
I recommend, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, probably not. But if it's 2 hours within the time that you probably want to get up, it's probably reasonable to go ahead and get up.
That's kind of a good rule of thumb. If you normally get up at 7 and you wake up just before 5, okay.
Right.
Get up at 5.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's certainly not going to hurt you, Like, people all the time, like, what happens if I don't get 8 hours? Newsflash, nobody dies from not getting 8 hours of sleep. Okay? It doesn't work that way. So just relax about your sleep, right? I tell people all the time, sleep is a lot like love. The less you look for it, the more it shows up.
Thank you, Dr. Bruce. It's always great to visit with you. Thank you, Cheyenne, for sharing our common problem together. It made sense, right?
Yes,
he made good sense, yeah?
He did.
You have some more exciting news, Dr. Bruce. You started a podcast, yeah?
I did. I'm so excited for it. It's called Sleep Success with Dr. Michael Bruce. It's available on Apple and Spotify and all these great things. But we've got some amazing guests. Montel Williams, who I know is a dear friend.
Personal hero of mine. I love him.
Steve Aoki has been on. Paris Hilton, who just released her documentary, was on. We've got some great people who are telling all of their sleep secrets, so come listen.
I hope I'll be on it one day. I certainly have more than enough issues to cover a podcast.
I will take you up on that, my dear.
Why don't you guys grab a healthy snack or a cup of what I'm going to order during the break, guava leaf tea. We'll be right back.